Ladies and gentlemen, my life is now complete. I can leave YouTube with a good conscience, knowing that TYT Politics put a heart beside one of my comments. How does this affect me as a YouTuber? Well, it would have been nice if they'd said TYT Politics subscribe to you, but you know, I'll take the heart. I'll take the heart. That means that they noticed the name Vegematic, which is, when it comes right down to it, a name we can all adopt as our own. And Vegematic is just because the more we can become like vegetables in the doomosphere that we live in, the more we can survive and maybe even thrive. Maybe we'll have to grow gills from the radiation, and you know, but we'll get through this somehow. I've had some interesting discussions with so-called leftists, and this is really starting to get strange. First, it was H.A. Goodman, who is now a full-time Trump defender, and then it was a couple of other people that are going, oh, no, it's the deep state, it's the deep state, everything's a conspiracy theory. Debbie, the once sane progressive. I'm sorry, Debbie. You used to be kind of good like 2 years ago, but man, you're off your rocker. Maybe that's good for your views because you get millions of views and you got all kinds of people saying how sexy and wonderful you are, and that must be very good for your ego. But you're batshit crazy, woman. I'm sorry. I just had to say it. There, I said it. I feel so much better now. I've spent so much time trying to be nice to everybody on the internet, and you know, nobody's nice to me. What is it about these so-called leftists? They are more right-wing, and I wonder if it's some kind of weird psyop, or if you truly go insane after YouTube success. It makes you a little crazy, willing to say things that are crazy, like the false flags with the mass shootings. Come on, who does that benefit? If it were a false flag. We'll put guns in schools. We'll arm teachers. That ought to work out really well. What could possibly go wrong? Man, America, do you know how insane the rest of the world sees you as? I mean, look in the mirror. What have you become? I mean, I know you're a country that was founded on, you know, genocide and slavery, but I had really truly believed that America had passed that, and then the struggle and the civil rights struggle and everything, and America had grown up. But America, I'm sorry, you're retarded.
And it would be, it's called concealed carry, where a teacher would have a concealed gun on them. They'd go for special training, and they would be there, and you would no longer have a gun-free zone. Gun-free zone to a maniac, because they're all cowards. A gun-free zone is, let's go in and let's attack.
And the trash talking points that I get. I left a comment on Hambone. Depressed collapsitarian celebrates another day of sitting alone in his kitchen. And I said, well, first I quoted Frank Zappa and said, take your incantations and meditations and ram it up your snout. The more you know, the harder your life becomes, because you can no longer pretend that you don't know. The same thing happened in pre-war Germany with friendships, families, and relationships ripped apart by Nazism. I suspect this is happening by design. Trump has been following the Nazi playbook all along. It's a cult, and they are hypnotized. Too rich. I received this enlightening reply from somebody called Wills, I guess. I don't know. People are getting sick of all the PC bullshit that leftists are pushing down everyone's throat. The rise of some like Trump, for better or worse, is a organic phenomenon. Most on the left have their heads so far up their asses that they have no comprehension of this reality. Anyone Westerner who is not happy to see there instead of there, I get it, country flooded by endless mass migrant is labeled an evil Nazi. Don't think that your 10-year-old son should cut his dick off. What are you, a transphobic Nazi? I was a leftist and decided at an early age not to breed. A reasonable decision. In hindsight, that was Cleland's moron decisions. I am just going to end up pay for someone else's kid from South America who needed to have 10 fucking kids because Jeebus told them then so, and to deny them the American dream would be like Hitler. By pushing the meme of Donald Trump is Hitler, evil Nazi is exactly what elements of the true far right and fascist want. The left is memeing Donald Trump into exactly what the far right thought they were voting for. Seriously, this is conversation from Trump people, I guess. Very strange. So my answer was, so from what I understand, the left wants to cut off your dick, force you to adopt 10 kids. Trump is an organic force. I do not think you're evil, just insane. Sorry, I do think that Wills has some serious anger issues to deal with. Wills came back with pretty lazy attempt at a straw man there. Nowhere did I say I would be forced to adopt 10 kids. Anyone on the HDT should know the problems of overpopulation. Huh? Okay, it's very confusing. To reiterate what I was talking, my decisions not to have children, which was somewhat environmentally based, was total worthless. Oh God. Then he goes on to say that there's a law in Canada that forces that Child Protective Services will come in and take anybody's kid who is not, whose parents are not part of the transgender agenda. I don't know. It's very, very confusing. So, I mean, it's been one of those days, right? I wasn't gonna do this, and you know, I said to Hambo, no, if I don't get like at least a few views, I'm gonna, get rid of it and get rid of the channel. And just when I was like that close to throwing the towel, because since I've been back up on the tube, I've been tubular for this is 3 or 4 videos now, and I thought, okay, at least I've got to get 1 subscriber. If I don't get 1 subscriber since I've been back on the air, I'm gonna ditch it. But then a fellow named Dean Rayo has subscribed to me on YouTube. Well, hallelujah. 1 intelligent person. Thank you, Mr. Dean Rayo. And I will try and live up to your faith in me for the next 5 minutes or so. All news is fake news, so you can make your own news, or you can interpret the news in whatever way your twisted brain decides to interpret the news. And this is the problem with the consolidation of media in the last 40 years, and to the point where it's all one massive conglomerate. And you can't imagine the power that holds over the narrative that plays out. and the manufactured consent, the manufactured division. Never have I seen such division. It's worse than in the 60s, in my opinion. That you have these people that are regressive, fully willing to believe a demagogue that spouts whatever he spouts, and there are the true believers that are going, all we're saying is give Trump a chance. Man, it's just ugly. It's just ugly. And you get these TV preachers that come on and claim that Donald Trump is anointed by God and he's going to do wonderful things because God and America and God, they're the same thing. That's why America has been so blessed with so much gun violence and so much money to be made from private prisons. America, the truly great country founded on slavery and genocide, wants to go back to slavery and genocide. In fact, the whole government thinks that slavery and genocide are a good idea. A third of the Bering Sea ice disappeared in 8 days, but you'd be hard pressed to find that on mainstream news, wouldn't you? It's just don't worry about that. You hear the weather events. I mean, weather comes and goes, right? It's normal. It's normal to have 45-degree Fahrenheit temperatures at the North Pole in February. That's just absolutely normal. Don't worry about it. And boy, have we got a new 600 horsepower vehicle for you to look at. All you got to do is sign on the bottom line and pay for it for the next 20 years. Take out a mortgage on it, because it's all liar's loans anyway. I heard that the next big bubble is going to be auto loans, because people like to drive around and pretend that they're part of the elite and drive something that they can't afford. And you know, they're going to pollute in style if they're going to you know, add to the thing. You know, it's bizarre, man. We're doomed. We're really so doomed. I would like to place a wager, though, on whether we are doomed from. And I'd like to take a poll in the comment section down below, for those of you who do believe that we are truly doomed. And don't tell me not to freak out. I can fucking freak out if I want to freak out. So just don't tell me that, all right? It's my God-given, God-appointed right to freak out because the world is turning into a piece of shit hurtling through space. And people ask me, hey Vegematic, how do you keep your optimistic outlook? How do you keep smiling every day? Well, you know, the way I look at it is acceptance. The acceptance that this is all planned somehow, and that the doomosphere is meant to be, and that if humans disappear from the face of the earth, I don't know, maybe cockroaches will develop superior intelligence and do a better job than human beings have done so far. I think so. I think cockroaches will probably inherit the earth. Well, that's it for another Vegematic show. And if you'd like to keep this show tubular and going, oh, for God's sakes, share it, like it, and make love to it. Just make love to it all over the internet, because I need love, okay? We can all dream of an end to neoliberalism, to global fascism. Well, we can dream. We can all dream of clean power. We can all dream of getting things under control. And that would be a really good science fiction book for somebody to write, you know, and rather than writing these dark things you could write about. And that would really be science fiction, that what if people decided to do something about all our problems instead of just, yeah. is just too far-fetched. It's just too